Okay, so we'll start today. A very good evening. So we're coming right into the middle of the 10 elements. So the 10 elements, our journey ends now with the third element, which is Earth. So we are on the G Earth. And after this, we will then move on to metal and water. That will complete our journey of the 10-day master. And so by understanding the fundamental, so while we're going through, I will also throw in more and more jargons coming in. So please feel free to put into the chat or ask questions. Just like last week, it was lively that you begin to ask questions about free Kong and so on. So I think more of these terms will come in slowly. All right. So as usual, we need to understand that there are questions to ask. And the question that we need to look for when we are now investigating the day master is, of course, to assess the strength. So therefore, what do we want? We want to assess the strength. And of course, the three questions that we'll always ask is to know that the day master, what is the season? What is the season and whether it is rooted, and of course, it will locate. Sure. So these are the questions to ask. There are, of course, additional questions to ask. Like for example, when you deal with Fire Day Master, you need to ask for what?
The time of birth.
The time of birth, because the time of birth is very essential. And of course, when we look into last week, when we look into Earth, it goes back to the season. We go back to the season, and then we tune in together with the useful God. Yongshen. Therefore, with the useful God, we can see that when we handle Wu, when we handle the Wu, that means when we handle the so-called your Earth, the Yang Earth, that means the Wu Earth. So Wu Earth, of course, is the Yang Earth Day Master. And when we do look into the Yang Earth Master, Wu Earth will either sit on Fire Trinity, will either sit on Fire Trinity, or they will sit on
Water
Trinity. What is the Fire Trinity? What is the three animals for the Fire Trinity?
Horse. Yeah. Okay. Horse. Tiger, horse, dog.
Tiger, horse, and
dog.
So these are the three Fire Trinity. So the Wu Earth either sit on the fire or they sit on the water. What is the Water Trinity?
Dragon, rat, and monkey.
Dragon.
Dragon, rat, and monkey.
Okay. So dragon, rat, and monkey, correct. But let me put monkey first if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay. Because normally in Chinese, the last one is the earth. Dragon is the earth, which is your Shen, Qi, Che. Right? And this one is your Yin, Wu, Shi. Right? So therefore, Yin, Wu, Shi is your Fire Trinity, or Water Trinity, which is your monkey, rat, and dragon. Now, to the Wu Earth Day Master, what is water? What is water to the Wu Earth Day Master? What is water to a Wu Earth? Wealth. Very good, fantastic. And what is fire? What is fire to a Wu Earth?
Resource.
Fantastic. And therefore, these two are usually what people look for when they want to measure wealth, because wealth, wealth actually represents assets, and resource represents revenue. Therefore, in business, if you have lots of revenue, you have lots of assets, you are also rich. Therefore, that is why as we handle the Wu Earth Day Master, many of them are business people. They are entrepreneurs and they're very good in making money. So therefore, that is the Wu Earth as we handle it. All right. Now, if this is the case, then when we look into the other Earth Day Master now, so therefore, the other that we want to look for today is, of course, we will look into the Yin Earth. Yin earth is what? Chi earth. As you look
The
into
earth.
the Chi earth, yes. Therefore, if the yang sits on fire and water, then only left the other 6 animals which falls into the other 2 trinity. One of them will be the
You. Yeah. Okay.
wood trinity and the
Wood, metal.
metal trinity. All right. Therefore, this is a unique feature of Earth, because they sit on either 2 or the other 2. Unlike all the other elements like water, metal, they are mixture of their trinities. All right. So, what is the wood trinity? What is the animal for the wood trinity?
Pig, rabbit, goat.
Pig, rabbit,
Rabbit, goat.
goat,
Goat.
which is high, mao, weight, right? And how about the metal? What is the metal trinity then?
Snake, rooster, ox.
Uh, Snake,
Rooster, ox.
rooster, ox. 四六 right? Therefore, this will be as it is. And now, what is metal to the earth? What is metal to the
Output.
earth, Daymaster?
Output.
Huh? Output.
Output.
And what is wood to the earth?
Influence.
Influence. Officer. Influence star is the officer star. Direct officer or indirect. Indirect is your 7
Okay.
kilo, 7K. So the officer. Officer or output. So pangkat lah, pangkat. So when we look into G Earth, we are not looking into the business person anymore, not looking to the wealth and revenue. We're now looking to officer. We're looking to the officer, then we find that they can be in very good position. Barack Obama. So Barack Obama, American US president, is G. So therefore it's a earth snake. It's an earth snake that you can see here as well. That's Barack Obama has this. And of course, the other president that people talk about even until today, which is Donald Trump. Okay, this Donald Trump is also another G-Earth Daymaster. So we can say that for the last 12 years, America has been ruled by G Daymaster, as it is. Unlike Malaysia, Malaysia is mostly ruled by the Yi Earth, the Yi Wood, the Yi Wood and the Sin Metal Daymaster. Well, but then so since this is good, so the officer output. So output, of course, is creativity, producer, and officer. In a way, let's take a look. Now you can say the output is also hurting officer. So therefore, hurting officer is also somewhat officer lah, in a certain degree. So if you look in the GL, this would be how it is. So making money is of course in it, but they of course look for other things as you can look for as well. All right, let's come on with the G Earth, which of course is represents by Mother Nature, which is represents by wet soil. So therefore, soil is moist. So moisture is very important, and moisture is richer. That means ability to make money, because water is money. So therefore, soil, the earth is able, can be sticky. Sticky means they're able to absorb and hold on to their water. Therefore, for those who cannot, then they cannot control money. Therefore, the earth Daymaster, more often than not, they are spendthrift. They spend money. To them, money is easy come, easy go. You'll see that the earth is quite a spendthrift. That will be one part. If so, whether or not, then that's where we look into their relationship with water. Now, Chi Earth is resourceful. Definitely, the key mind of it is resourceful. So when we look into fire, like Ting Daymaster, the moment you see Ting Daymaster, they are teacher. They like to teach. They like to shine for the world. That is their purpose in life. Their purpose in their existence. But Chi Earth is resourceful. Therefore, they make excellent middle manager. They are very productive. They are very obedient. They're very compliant. So compliant is one thing. They're very good with their bosses. They are very organized, very, very resourceful. So usually bosses would like a GF day master as their assistant, has somebody who support them, for them who work in a way. Right? So therefore that's the hallmark of GF. Famous GF, oh, Donald Trump or Barack Obama, Abraham Lincoln. Looks like American president tends to gravitate towards GF, in a way. All right, let's move along to look into the key. So GF people are very resourceful. Oh, they like to talk a lot lah. Mulut celupa, I tell you. Sorry, they like to talk and talk and talk. That would be what. So if you go into a room, blind of people's chart, the one that's most talkative one, that one is mostly the GF lah. You can take a guess one, that would be it. And sometimes a bit boastful also lah. Well, I mean, Donald Trump is definitely the master of boastfulness, if nobody else can beat him. All right. But of course, there's always exceptions. So let's take a look into the exceptions that you have. So GF is mother nature. So therefore, they are very motherly one. GF are very caring people. They make very good nurses, because they nurture people, they provide people. Their EQ is very good. Their EQ is very good. They definitely can mother people. Therefore, they are the nurturing type. And they are also very good to work in customer service because they can take a lot of abuses. Therefore, they are very patient. They keep quiet. And that would be one of their hallmark when they come to work. Because they are very resourceful. They can be innovative. They're R&D. They're not change master. Unlike fire who can change, they're not inventors. They are not. They are more so to be productive. More of being resourceful. They can get things to be done, as it is. Therefore, they are very good to be abused. Unfortunately, we all humans tend to abuse Mother Nature, and therefore GF is that Mother Nature that is ready to give and give despite being abused. That would be the GF Daymaster. GF is not worried about 7 killing. That's the thing. What is 7 killing? What is the 7 killing to a GF? 7 killing to a GF is, sorry?
Influence.
Influence. I know, but what is the 7 killing sign for GF?
E wood.
Yes, right. The Yi wood. Therefore, Yin is not worried. It's like you can see, every time we have 7 killing, it's very scary one. Ting Daymaster is very scared of the 7 killing, because that is water, water that can snuff out the life of a Ting fire. Therefore, they are worried. But to a Yin Earth, Yi Wood is not so scary. So that is why they can tolerate. They can take a lot of abuses because they're not really they're not really having self-confidence or self-esteem threat from 7 killing. Unlike Ting Daymaster that tends to be more insecure. Yin Earth is not that type of insecure. In fact, they do welcome Yin Earth at time. So therefore, they're unworried. They're unworried about the Yi Wood so much, not so worried about water as much. Therefore, that would be it. So in fact, so what do they like? They like to see what? They like to see fire. They like to see fire. They like to see matter. Therefore, that's where we begin to look into. We like to look into what are the elements that they like to meet and what they don't like to meet. All right, now Wu Earth and Ji Earth. So therefore, central and righteous. And Wu Earth, of course, is that big mountain, solid, while Ji Earth, hot and concealed. Therefore, in a way, they tend to be, you can consider them, okay, this greedy, just don't misunderstand this greedy, which we'll try to explain in one part. All right, but later, of course, we do see that Chi Earth is something that Yang water dislike. Ren water dislike Chi Earth because Ren and Chi Earth tends to be a symbol for Cancer. Because water, purity, water do not like to be contaminated. So Chi Earth is a contaminant to the Ren water. So that is where we find that Chi is able to deplete the energy of water. Both Kui water and Ren water. Both Kui and Ren as well. Oh, by the way, anybody who is Chi, Yin Earth Daymaster, you see whether you got Kui water or not. See whether there's Kui water in the chart. Normally, if you have Kui water in your chart, your body smelly one, body odor, there's a body odor one. Therefore, please make sure you wash your armpit frequently and put on more perfume, something like that. Therefore, body smells a bit one. So you got Kui water with Yin Earth in your chart. This one doesn't matter whether which day master you are. As long as you got this Yin Earth and Kui water, you tend to produce more body odor. Also consider, yes, Jackson, also consider if you have Kui water. That means muddy because Kui water and Yin Earth mixed together is muddy. So the smell of mud in a way. So that is why pink fire is needed. Because pink fire can then dispel the moisture in the earth. So pink fire is needed to dispel. All right. So what do Chi Earth needs? They welcome. They like to see fire. They like to see metal. They like to see. So they like to see these two, metal and fire. So water, yes, of course, but not too much. Water, not too much. And of course, also to consider that they don't mind wood as well. Okay, so therefore that's the broad picture about the G Earth. And from a function point of view, G Earth is excellent middle manager. Excellent. Because G Earth, they don't just polish up, they don't just manage up, they also manage down. Unlike the Yi Wood manage up, don't bother so much about down. But then this one is good. Both also, they take care of their staff, they take care of their bosses because Qi combines with Jia. Right? Qi Earth combines with Jia. Jia is the direct officer, so therefore Jia is the boss. And when Qi Earth combines with Jia, what does it produce?
The earth.
Earth. And what is Earth? Earth is more of you produce Earth. Therefore, that's why Qi Earth works well with the boss. Therefore, this one works well with the boss. They like long-term growth. And Qi Earth conceals and they cover metal. And metal is the output, metal is the employees. So therefore, they protect the employees and they very well with the boss one. Therefore, they are able to take care. And so this brings them to this part of being the excellent middle manager. So they manage people very well. Therefore, that's where they tend to take good leadership. Now, of course, we know. Of course, we know that many people. I mean, it is very popular to say people don't like Donald Trump. But to say that people don't like Donald Trump is not it's an understatement. You can find that that the riot recently in Capitol Hill also means that Donald Trump continued to have loyal supporters. Loyal supporters who are willing to fight for him, willing to go to the extent for him as well. And such loyalty and the voting that doesn't show that Joe Biden has won decisively. It was quite a very borderline kind of thingy. So indicating that whether you like him or not, Donald Trump, but one have to admit that he does have a large group of supporters, and therefore GF does that. Obama also the same thing, likewise to say. Okay, so anyway, these are the 6 so the high Mao Wei, high Mao Wei. So therefore, these are all wood. So this is the the wood trinity. The wood trinity. So you can find that these are the wood trinity, and this will be the
Metal.
metal trinity. So therefore, wood trinity and metal trinity into the part. So you can see them here as it is. All right. Therefore, this would be again as mentioned, wood is the officer, and metal is the output. So therefore, they are either sitting on metal or sitting on wood. So let's say Ji Chou has water. Yep, that's right. Therefore, smelly lah. All right. Go and test and see animal. Right. So next time, you ask people whether if they are Ji Chou, you can smell the armpit and see whether my theory is correct or not. All right. Okay, come. Since we talk about smelling armpit, let's take a look into the image of the first animal sign now that we have. Ji Chou. Let's see this. Rooted. Rooted. Therefore, definitely rooted. So Ji Chou is rooted. You can see that they are rooted. This one also rooted. Therefore, this one also rooted. Okay, this one is partially rooted. Partially rooted to a certain degree. But many of them are not. Because many of them are not. Therefore, this is where they might be considered to be unstable. Unstable. Now, of these six GF element here, which is most unstable? Which is most unstable? Which one is most unstable? The one is most unstable is this one. The year for 2019, G height, because Earth sitting on water. Earth sitting on water is unstable element. Earth sitting on water is short life. Short life. In fact, George Carlin did. Anyway, if you want to Google him or to understand his life, George Carlin was also a comedian. He was a comedian, very funny people, very good at talking. But when he of course died of an illness, which sometimes the GF will have to consider. So therefore, they are usually the unstable pillar that we normally understand. Okay, come. Let's move on into the Ji Chou. Therefore, Chou is of course winter, isn't it? Winter. So not good to be born in summer. Because it would then be muddy. It is one of the elegance, and on it also Ji Chou sits on wealth. Therefore, water is wealth. Water is wealth. So Ji Chou sits on wealth. It has wealth element. It is rooted, and it what is this? What is sin metal? What is sin metal to G Earth?
Eating God.
Eating God. So therefore, creative, creative, productive, sitting on wealth. Therefore, Ji Chou would have that particular symbol that we have also. Now, see who is also Ji Chou. We have the Amazon, the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, billionaire. So Jeff Bezos is a Ji Chou. Therefore, that will be his symbol as well. So it's an elegant symbol. And then he has, I tell you, looking into the way that most Chinese always ask, I think most people like to dream that they are in their chart. they are side by side with wealth. They are side by side with wealth. Therefore, if your career pillar is wealth, there's a very good propensity to be rich. Nice it is. Okay, Jicho here. First of all, we look into the season. Alamak born in summer, so therefore born in summer. It's not so positive for a Jicho, but then of course, it has definitely rooted. Definitely rooted. So definitely rooted. Of course, sitting on that, e.g., friend and indirect wealth. Therefore, that would be the sign for Jeff Bezos, which is the Amazon, the multi-billionaire for Amazon. That would be his job. You can see here as well. All right. Okay, so but usually, so not good at managing money. But especially here, if you find that they are too much, too much. If there's too much so-called water or sun. But usually, what do we want to see? What does GO needs to see? Water not flooding, dispersing the force. So there should be raindrops. Raindrop is grey water and sun. Therefore, if there is grey water and there is sun, it is auspicious. If it is auspicious. Therefore, we need to see whether if there are grey water, then it is auspicious to see whether there's a fire and sun. Therefore, that would be. Usually, you don't find it. We do not know what's the hour. I should have looked for the hour. Then we can have a better representation. Therefore, that would be it as well. There should be clashes. Should there be clashes? Receiving help. This person will have a high achievement in career. This will become later when we look into special edition for today. Today we have special edition, the Earth and Earth interactions, and then you can see how a special attention can come in as well. All right. And so as we can find Cho is part of your method, which is of course output. So output people tend sometimes to enjoy life a bit more, less ambitious as they are. But of course, when they work, they tend to be success tends to come from their work. But generally, of course, here we do consider that overall this will be. This is a jihad. Oh, sorry, I think I mixed up the area. Let me just complete this. So, mixture a bit. Sorry. Okay, I need to realign myself. Okay, sorry. Let me move along. Come to the second one, which is your Jima. Now, in the earlier part, Qi represents Earth and Mao is wood. Wood below Earth is a seed, a seed that is trying to grow. And therefore, in traditional I Ching or symbolism is wood inside Earth may or may not grow. Therefore, what is useful? Therefore, when we look into a Jimao, we want to see that it's good to meet Yi. Therefore, we would say that that if Yi is penetrated, so penetrated means if on the Pakchi chart you see Yi wood in the heaven stem, then it will grow. Then it will grow. Therefore, that would be the symbolism. Symbolism. So you can see that therefore Jima is the symbol here, which is Earth sitting on wood. Earth sitting on wood. And sitting on wood represents here sitting on 7 killing. So it's therefore it is sitting on 7 killing. Therefore it's sitting on 7 killing. As it is. Therefore, that's where we consider the symbolism sitting on 7 feet. And here we find that the symbolism for Chimao, the moral conflict, in Chimao is that it requires sacrifice to be useful, but they refuse to sacrifice. Therefore, their journey, the journey of a Chimao, is one that if they are willing to sacrifice, then they would be useful. But whether they would or not. In a way, it's more to say that again, the symbolism of earth that covers the seed, that covers the seed for growth. Therefore, that covers the seed for growth. And so, in a way, the question that is here is whether or not that seed will grow. Whether they are whether they are able to develop. In a way, it's more like a journey, a character development. Whether they are willing to internalize and develop themselves. Therefore, and whether or not they will do it is a question of whether they will see the horse. So if they see the horse, then chances are the answer is no. Therefore, they might be, they will face internalized problem. Sometimes, right, a lot of mental problem. There's a lot of mental problem, mental anguish. Therefore, a more psychological setback into it. And so this is where sometimes for I Ching reading, sometimes for just looking at the chart, it actually represents infertility. It represents people giving up hope. Therefore, this would be the scenario of them not living. So it indicates a lot more of self-confidence, self kind of esteem issues that we have as well. All right, so therefore that would be the symbolism that we have as well. And so this would be their story. That's their story. So the story is that if they can internalize and overcome their character building, they tend to improve everything in life. Definitely extroverts. Most of them, Chi Earth is always the one that can talk, the one that can they can actually be very friendly, compassionate, and therefore they follow that the kind of a person into the path. Okay, and the issue that comes in, of course, is that they can be so passionate about their work that they can even sacrifice on their health for it. So therefore, that would be the issue. And again, the reading is that they do have unfavorable children luck that comes in as well. Now, this is also sometimes Joey Yap does mention that in occasion, you know that there's a clash, right? There's a clash between rabbit. Rabbit clash with what?
Rooster.
Rooster. And this rabbit and rooster clash is also uncivilized. It's also a very uncivilized clash. At one time, we also see that this clash also symbolizes one thing. Now, actually, when we draw the yeet wood in the pictorial symbolism is actually the penis, and this one is actually the. And therefore, sometimes it can be a reading for rape. That's what uncivilized punishment may also represent. So therefore, this is where some of this symbolism also means infertility. And so usually this is also the symbol that the G. That means if ever somebody asks for a reading that says, will I have children? Will I have children? when I have everything, and if this picture comes up, if this imagery come out of the G Earth, the answer is most likely no. No. Into the part. Okay, so this is also part of the so-called the reading for this theme as well. All right, move along. We have earth snake sitting on fire. Sitting on fire is already hot. Don't like to see any more fire. Therefore, very, very dry, very, very high. And so therefore, it can be very, very talented because snake sits on part of the CO2, which is the metal. And metal, of course, is output. Therefore, very, very talented. Very talented. And G-Earth can talk one. Since they can talk, they also can be very, very good. And therefore, this will be one of the more prosperous so-called GC. Is very much. And snake is what is inside the snake. What is inside the snake? Sorry. What is this? This is
Wu.
Wu is what?
Oh, I see. Wu is Rockwell.
Rockwell. What is Keng?
Keng hurting officer.
Hurting officer.
Peng.
Direct resource.
Direct resource.
Direct resource.
Resource.
Right. Therefore, very resourceful. Rockwell hurting officer. Okay. In this sense, but the fire there controls a bit about the hurting officer resource, therefore making it a bit more civil into the part. Okay, so therefore, due to that, they can sitting on snake is actually quite spiritual inclined. With their direct resource, they are becoming very, very intelligent because of their hurting officer and their Rockwell. They are witty. They have this particular nature in them, and generally because they have hurting officer and they have Rockwell, of all the 6 Earth people, they are not the one that makes good employees. So if ever Daymaster asks you, should I work for people? No lah. Why don't you try to be self-employed? Why don't you try to be self-employed? Why? Because you got Rockwell, you got hurting officer. Therefore, there is a little bit more of that, that rebellious tendency of you, and more of a lone ranger type. Therefore, you don't really enjoy working with bosses. So therefore, you just prefer to be on your own. Right, so generally this will be quite a good reading. We should have your tips with you as well. Right. Now we come to the wait. Now as you run to the wait, what again that you have is sitting on yourself, which is rooted. Therefore, this is friend. You have your 7 killing. And what is your fire? This will be your indirect
resource.
Therefore, you're sitting on indirect resource, 7 killing. 7 killing, indirect resource. And the 7 killing, wood produces fire. So wood produces fire, fire produces earth. Therefore, Wei is very nice because the 3 hidden elements, they there's a flow. There's a flow where wood produces fire and fire produces earth. So therefore, that's where the way comes in sitting on that pillar. And because of that, there is this sense of resource. Therefore, very, very hot, no water. So in that case, desperate for water. Desperate for wealth. And because of that, Jiwei has a sense of emptiness. And this sense of emptiness tends to lead them to this philosophy that money is an objective to go for. So people may misunderstand this to mean greedy for money. Therefore, very greedy for money, always looking for money. Therefore, Jiwei is that sand in the desert that is constantly thirsty. Constantly thirsty. Therefore, that is why if this is not Daymaster, if this is a luck pillar, the imagery, the reading of this is that not good enough. So the sense of not good enough. So Jiwei lead a life of feeling that they are not doing enough and they're not good enough, and they would be very keen to have money, and to have money. Of course, it would be auspicious to see water, but not too much water, not too much water. Therefore, meeting water, luck pillar may not be the best into the view as well. Therefore, we have Donald Trump. So Donald Trump is Jiwei, Daymaster. And so therefore, we take a look into this Daymaster for Donald Trump. As we try to wait. Let me see his chart again. He's born in 1946, June 14. Let me just start again. Donald Trump, 1946. Correct me if I'm typing wrongly. Let me know. June 14, is it? What's his birthday again? 14 June 1946, 10:45 a.m. 10:45 a.m. Therefore, the year 2021, he said so it's luck pillar. So every 10 years, as you know, it's luck pillar, and his luck pillar is coming into tail end for water. It's coming for water, and of course, in another 1 more year to 2 more years, he will be changing his luck pillar. He'll be changing his luck pillar, and his changes to the luck pillar. That means, in a way, whenever there's a change in your luck pillar, you will also have a big, and this change is going to be big, because this is the decade, the 3 decades of water, but now this is going to be wood. Therefore, because water to water, there will be changes, but the change will not be as profound as water to another element. Therefore, there'll be a very, very big change. And the change, of course, is into water, to run it. But of course, this part is, the element here is your wood part. Therefore, this is constantly thirsty, hungry. But you can see that you can see his chart. His chart has absolutely no water at all. Therefore, Donald Trump has absolutely zero water in his chart. There's actually zero water in his chart. So zero water in his chart. And fire is Is that fire or not?
Yes, Ting is fire.
Yeah, fire. Huh? Very, very hot. Huh? Donald Trump chart is dry earth. Huh? Very dry earth. Very, very hot. It's very close to super vibrant, but it's not. It's very close to super vibrant. Now, what is the animal sign for summer? What are the three animal sign for summer?
Snake, horse, and goat.
Snake, horse, and goat. He has all the three of them. Royal flush, the summer flush. Therefore, he has what we call directional trinity, the seasonal trinity. He has the summer trinity. He has all three of them because the three animals for summer is your snake, your horse, and your goat. And he has all three of them. And then yin, wu, shi. Therefore, you can see that yin, wu, and shi, tiger, forms what? Forms the
In, fire.
fire trinity. Okay, fire trinity. Therefore, this chart is super hot. This is a very, very hot chart. I'm sure you look at the behavior and the temperament of Donald Trump, you would agree that he has a very hot-tempered nature. You can see that he's very, very red. Not a drop of water. Not a drop of water. Therefore, of course, water also represents intelligence, isn't it? Okay, wisdom. Okay, never mind. Right, but of course here we can see that he has gone through very good, but then well, good for him, that metal produces water, and then water season comes in. So therefore, this would lead very good. Okay. The thing about his life, of course, is what makes his life good in a way that there's only one pink fire. There's only one. There's only one. We don't like to see more than one pink, because there can only be one sun in the. There can only be one sun in the sky. If there are two suns or more, then koyak lah. This guy confused really. This guy is here, there, everywhere, and he got no more direction in life. Mediocre really. Therefore, there's only one sun, super hot. This sun is hot, and earth. He has a lot of earth. So this guy, and fire produces earth. Wow, so this guy, a lot of earth. You can see his earth is also very, very strong. There's an earth here, there's an earth here, there is an earth here, there is an earth here, earth here. Therefore, lots of earth and lots of fire, and fire produces earth. So if ever Donald Trump was young, you should recommend him to go into property. Oh yeah, of course, he's a property tycoon. So lots of property, lots of earth, lots of property. And therefore, because he's so hot and thirsty and hungry, he would thirsty. This guy is very thirsty. It's very, very thirsty. It's always that would be the symbolism for how you can look into a feeling that is unsatisfied. Unquenchable thirst. It is more talented, bold, courageous. They are quick, but thoughtless in speech. Daymasters are bold, courageous, thoughtless in speech. Okay, there will be coming them to the area. They always need to be aware of engaging with petty people around them. So petty people around them, they are entrepreneurial, hardworking as it is. All right, there you go. So this will be the Daymaster. So the symbolism is thirsty. Thirsty. All right, let's move on into the 自由. Early on, we talk about the one that needs to sacrifice, 举帽, the one that needs to sacrifice but refuse to sacrifice. The opposite to it is the 基友, the rooster, which is sacrificial, because earth covers matter. Therefore, 基 is earth, and yo is what? Sin.
Metal.
Sin.
Yes.
Therefore, earth covering diamond. Earth being protective, possessive, covering metal. And when metal is extracted, when you extract metal from the earth becomes void. Therefore, that is why Gio, a person who would give their whole life to arts. And for family, that is to devote their output, which is children. Therefore, Gio makes very, very good mother. They will mother you, they will smother you, they will devote their life to family. Because to a Gio Daymaster female, they will protect and cover their children. But for the male or for what, they are very artistic. They are very, very artistic. Therefore, that would be their dedication to their life. And so, if properly cultivated, the person can be rich and noble. So therefore, that would be the reading for it. And because they are compassionate, but they can be smoothering. You know, when you mother people, you are such a protective mother. You are such over there. People find it sometimes overbearing. Sometimes a bit too much into the part. Okay, so anyway, this will be something along the line that comes into as well. All right. Now let's take a look into the last one of us here. We have people that is unstable pillar now. Earth. Earth sitting on water is unstable because Earth sitting on water is island. So the picture of Zhihai is a picture of islands. So therefore, islands, seaside, sandy beach, which of course normally permits that life is shorter. Therefore, health can be a major problem. So they should take care of their health. They should not meet more water. So should there be rain, metal, wood? This will reduce the person's life. They would welcome the pink. They like to see the fire. So a useful god is the pink fire. Very talkative, funny, don't save much water, and of course and because they sit on wealth. Because they sit on wealth, therefore they direct wealth. Therefore, because they sit on direct wealth, therefore they are very good to be employed. They are very good to be employed. All right, so therefore that would be the picturism. So again, G-Earth either sit on output, so they are creative, or they sit on officer. They sit on officer. And because they're creative and the sort of officer, these are the people that tend to have the similar traits of being witty, being motherly, and so on. So therefore, that would be the symbolism for it as well. And of course, of all the mulut celupa, this one is number one in all the mulut celupa. I mean in a good way, they can talk, they can just like Josh Carlin, that is a comedian. He can talk and talk and talk and then make and then becoming a comedian and make everybody laugh at him into the area as well. Alright, so therefore this would be for him, George Carlin. You can see here as well. Right, as you run through all the Earth Daymaster, today's special edition just a very, very quick one because of all the Earth when you bring back together. There is one ancient verse, part of the 5 verse treasure, one of the ancient scriptures that talks about this. So this is one of the golden verses. When Belstar enters the vault, the vault means what? The vault means storage. So when Belstar enters the vault, clashed by luck cycle, you get rich. When Belstar enters the vault, clashed by luck cycle, you get rich. Now, when you look into Donald Trump, he is he's a goat. What animal sign clash with goat? What animal sign clash with
Ox.
goat?
Ox.
Ox. Okay. What animal sign clash with goat? Ox. And therefore, if you can see now, okay, let's look at it this way. Yes, you are right. We want to look at it this way. No, sorry, let me just increase the size of this. Let me just copy the whole thing. Okay, now let's look at it this way. When we look into the chart, map out all the earth animal signs. Map out all the earth animal signs. Goat is an animal sign. Dog is an animal sign. And then when we look through the luck pillar, what are the earth animal sign?
Dragon.
The goat, the dog. Correct or not?
The ox. Yes.
Okay, the dog, the goat, and the ox. Okay, and the ox clash with the goat. The ox clashes with the goat. And so one of the ancient texts is when your storage clash, when your storage clash, then you can find this saying that when Belstar enters the vault, clash by luck cycle, one gets rich. And therefore, when we look into earth and earth clash, and therefore for the case, you have your Chou and Wei, which is now okay, I'm not very good in Chinese, but Wei is goat. One way to write goat is this, and one way to write ox is this. I'm sorry, not even like it, no? And I think this symbolism is Siu. Anybody can pronounce it better than me? For those who can read, this is what does this word mean? Shame, that's right. Jackson will know. Siu, shame. Right. Therefore, when Chou and Wei clash with one another, it's a very, very messy clash. This clash is a very, very messy one. When they clash, it's about reputation, it's about defamation, it's about trying to shame the other person. Because that is what the clash actually also represents. What the clash also represents. That you can find. So the clash is very, very messy. So thank you, Jackson, for that. I see this. Just like what we can see here, when we look into the goat, and you can see the goat and we can see the ox, because your think will control your metal, because fire controls metal. Is it correct? In a way?
Yes.
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 And
Yes.
of course your water will control your fire. Kui water wants to control the Ting fire will control your sin metal. Therefore, that's where the ulang alik, the to and fro comes in. I control you, you control me, and so therefore this will clash with this. So therefore there will be this very, very messy clash. So therefore when we read that when the goat clashes with the ox, therefore it's messy. It's a very, very messy. Messy in what sense? Messy in this sense. Messy in this sense. So it's very personal one. Therefore, the way person will always treat it to be very personal. It's always very emotional fight with each other. That would be one question. But the one thing that we need to know is that's the downside of it. But the good side of it is that when earth and earth clashes, everything is released. It releases the stored element. It releases the stored element. Therefore, that would be the case for the ox and the goat clash. Therefore, it releases. So you can find the reading to be so. So this clash can bring benefit. It can be good for the people. It can be good. In a way, you can say that Donald Trump became the U.S. president. Donald Trump became the U.S. president during the luck cycle of the ox and the goat clash. So when there's a clash, he became the U.S. president. He became the U.S. president during this period. I mean, he became what he wanted to be. Therefore, if you read the overall, the 10 years is good for him. It doesn't have a happy ending that he wanted, but too bad, because luck cycle running out already. Luck cycle running out already. Next time you want to run for president, run earlier. You run so late in your luck cycle. You can't cross over to the other side as well, into the one part, something along the line. All right. Therefore, this is where, but of course, again, ox and remember ox. When goat and ox clash, shame is sometimes that means reputation risk, emotional. These are all the things will come in. Relationship all this clash, all these are all the part that can be seen. Okay, now the other part about the clash. Also messy when we find the clash. Now again, the Chen is the dragon against the dog. Now once again, the Kui water wants to control your Ting fire, and then your wants to control your Ting fire. Your Ting fire wants to control your Yi wood. No, not control. Sorry, that means sorry, it doesn't really control the part. But it does weaken. It does. Ting fire actually weakens. It actually weakens your air, but the sin metal wants to control. Wants to control into the part. Okay, so therefore this will be again. The two elements will all fight against each other. So there will be again very, very messy. But because these are yang clashes, they are more destructive type. Less emotional, more destructive type. More, but usually this kind of clash also may mean changing jobs, changing career. So changing jobs, changing career is also tends to be part of its manifestation as well. As it is. All right, that's for Earth and Earth clash. And Earth and Earth, now just we have to look around. Therefore, that is why one way to read a chart. One way to read a chart is okay lah. Reading a chart is very complicated. Okay, now one way to read the chart is when you look at the chart, straight away look at all the Earth. Look at all the Earth. Straight away look at all the Earth. Look at all the Earth. Because Earth and Earth also interact with each other. One. We know that the goat clashes with the ox. The goat will clash with the ox. But then we also need to know that the goat also is in bullying punishment with the ox. And the goat is in a bullying punishment with the dog. Therefore, the moment is okay lah. Earth and Earth got issue one. So therefore, the goat. So here in a way, there is an internal bullying. There's an internal bullying lah, because goat and dog is bullying punishment. Bullying punishment. And because this is already in the chart, is internal lah. Okay lah, this guy is a bully lah. Therefore, he has an internal bullying punishment. He has an internal bullying punishment. Because again, you can see that the sin will want to control the wood, and then the think will want to control the sin. Therefore, there is also interaction. So don't just remember goat and ox, goat and ox. Actually, you can remember goat and dog also. Goat and dog. Earth and earth. Just earth don't like to see another earth. So therefore, there will be also another internal bullying punishment. And of course, the ox will also have a bullying punishment with the dog. Will also have a bullying punishment with the dog as well. And therefore, for Donald Trump, when the ox comes in, it will also hit the area. It will also hit the dog in a way. It will also hit the dog in a way. As it is. Okay, but for whatever reason, Donald Trump's luck cycle is running out. Luck cycle is running out already. And then he will be moving into the wood cycle. Wood cycle is controlling. Therefore, that's the office. Okay, there are some people who wants to put Donald Trump into jail for impeachment and for whatever crimes or violation. They hate him so much, they want to do that. Well, officer coming in, Donald Trump better be careful if you don't have official power into that sense. All right, so this will be where we need to read that the goat punishes the ox punishes the dog punishes the goat. Therefore, as it is. Maybe the best way to remember is they all punish each other, just that the dragon is left out. So if you can remember, of all the 4 earth animals, of all the 4 animals for earth, all of them bully each other except the dragon. The dragon is not part of this bullying punishment. So bullying punishment is when you go into a situation where you are helpless or without leverage, unable to do anything for yourself. Imagine internet nowadays. The internet can be a very big bullying punishment, isn't it? That means, recently there's this Datuk son that hit somebody else in Tropicana, isn't it?
Yes,
So yeah, I'm not supporting him, of course, but that is something like a bullying punishment because shame has happened, and now the video clip is on the internet, and once it's on the internet, it can never be erased. So your name, your picture, your incident, your YouTube will be there. And so when this happens, I mean, of course, it's a Datuk son, son of a property, maybe not as a property guy, so I'm sure rich enough, but sometimes when we find things like this happen to a poorer, younger person, good or bad, but his whole life, cannot, or her whole life cannot find job already, cannot, because your name is there already. When people search you, they will always remember you for that kind of incident. Therefore, that is a kind of bullying punishment that conflict you, and then you cannot bring it down. So therefore, that is the symbolism for it as well. All right. So as we end the day, as we end the earth element today, so earth, so this is a special edition a bit, because earth and earth clash on, and this clash, the good part about this kind of clash is moving house. Oh, you're gonna move house, changing job, moving house, and unlocking your wealth stuff. So therefore, this saying is, if you see money, in your chart. Okay, now let me just have another. Okay, just a few more moments. I know I'm a bit late. Okay. All right. Let me just bring out all the animal sign. Let me just bring out all the animal sign. Okay. So Ping Chen, Cho. Let me just bring up. This is another. We have Cho. What else do we have? We have Wei. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me just change this to another side. Okay. Right now, you look at this chart. Look at this. Okay, this chart. A lot of earth sign. So sure what problem. Okay. Now look at this. Look at this symbol for this hotel. This is Kuei Water Daymaster. Yin Daymaster. What is the wealth to a Kuei Water? What is the wealth style of a Kuei Water?
So control fire, fire,
Sorry?
fire,
Fire. Where is fire?
Our
our thing,
yeah.
at the thing and ping.
Ping and ping, Okay. Will this guy be rich or not? Is this guy rich or not?
Don't know how
No.
to see.
Don't know to see, Okay. Where is the fire? Where is the fire?
In the year,
You understand? And also, think fire is hidden.
in the hour,
In
hidden,
the hour.
old
This
age.
one is when you are a child.
Yeah,
This one
and
is when you are a adult,
old,
or a teen. This one is when you're a mature adult. This one is when you are.
old.
Therefore, he will not see money until he's old. So sad. And not only that, the wealth is being stored under an earth graveyard storage. You know what I mean or not? That means wealth is hidden under a storage sign. Therefore, it will not be released until you see what? Not be released until you see what?
We see another clash.
Ox.
You see another
Yeah,
clash. Yeah. Until you see another clash, in ox. Are we alright?
Yep.
Can, something like that. So therefore, this would be
Okay.
where it says, so when wealth star enters the vault, clash by a luck cycle, once get rich. Therefore, today we deal with earth. Today is today's theme is earth. Therefore, earth is the storage, earth is the graveyard, and so when wealth star is in your vault, you will not see it until it is being clashed. Therefore, earth do represents clash. They do welcome clash. So earth and earth clash can be messy, but it can also be All right.
Mm.
Okay, people. Yep, that's
Yes.
10:20 already. We have been exceeding our time. Apologies for that. Well, because we want to cover some special edition. So that ends for today. Next week, we will cover what animal sign? What element by then?
Run.
Keng first. Metal.
Yeah.
The more keng you have, the faster you drive. Speed demon. And executor as well. All right. So therefore, those with keng, drive carefully. And have a very good night today. So I'll see you next week. Same time, same
Yeah.
place.
Thank you.
Take care. All right.
Good night, David.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.